All right, so we'll begin. Okay, can everybody see the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so we'll start again. All right, because I think in the last class some of you could not attend from the beginning, so I'll just explain briefly. All right. So now we are on the topic of competitive factor analysis. Here, the competitive analysis is important from the point of view of surviving in the industry. Okay, we will see what are the forces that govern an industry's competition, what are the things that affect the competition that is existing in an industry, and how to overcome them, what are the points that we should keep in mind while overcoming them or trying to enter an industry or exit an industry. Okay, so this competitive analysis can be best explained with the help of Porter's 5 force model. Okay, Michael Porter is the one who has given this model, and he argues that there are 5 forces that govern the competition in every industry. The 5 forces are these 5 forces: threat of entry, threat of substitute, power of buyers, power of suppliers, and existing rivalry in the industry. Okay, this is the model that Porter has given. It is known as the Porter's 5 force model. Okay, now all these points that have been mentioned here, these are forces that act upon an industry. Now we'll see what each of these consist of. Okay, firstly discussing about rivalry among the existing competitors. Okay, or we'll start with the threat of new entrants. Whenever there is the competition in an industry is good, or is rising, or a product is becoming successful, a lot of new companies try to enter that market. For example, the smartphones market. Okay, since last 5 to 10 years, smartphones are a product that have gained very much popularity. Okay, and so you can see a lot of new companies are entering this market to get a share of the profit that is being generated in this type of market. Okay, now threat of new entrants has various factors to it. Okay, the first thing is there are a lot of barriers to the entry of new firms. Whenever new companies try to enter into a market, the existing firms create a sort of barrier in their way, so, or they create such circumstances in the industry that no new entrants can easily enter the market. This is true for some of the industries. Okay, obviously every industry is different, but usually there are barriers. Some have less barriers, some have more barriers, but barriers are present. Now by these barriers, what we mean? Okay, first is economies of scale. Economies of scale, has everyone heard about economies of scale? Can anyone tell me? You may have heard about it in economics class, maybe in 12th class, or maybe in graduation. Economies of scale, has anyone heard of it? economies of scale, Nancy says profit. To an extent they are profits, but can you explain further what kind of profit? Why are we not saying profit and why are we calling it economies of scale? Okay, so I'll explain what economies of scale are. When a firm keeps working in an industry or operating in an industry for a long time, say 5 years, 10 years, maybe 20 years, they develop certain benefits that new firms cannot enjoy. Okay, these benefits can include maybe good relations with suppliers. Okay, because of these good relations, they get discounts. Okay, they get credit facility from the supplier, they get better quality of raw material, fast delivery of raw material, because the channels have been already established. Then another benefit can be maybe the cost that is incurred. From that point of view, if we see a lot of cost, a lot of maybe some fixed cost has already been recovered by them in the initial years of their operation. Okay, and so now they do not have to make it a part of their cost, and so the price of the product is much lower than the new entrance of the market. Khyati, this is the right definition, but I do not need the internet definition of that particular term. I need what you can explain in your own words. Okay, so in your as we saw, as we have discussed, that economies of scale are benefits that are enjoyed by a company or a firm because of being in the industry for a long time. Okay, so these are economies of scale. So obviously it's a barrier because the new entrants will not enjoy the economies of scale. Okay, then next is brand loyalty. What is brand loyalty? If today I asked you about the best glucose biscuit in the market, everyone would get the name of Parle-G in their mind, right? Everyone would have eaten Parle-G at some point of their life, because this company has existed since a very long time. Okay, so a lot of customers are loyal to them. और कोई बिस्किट नहीं खरीदना है, I have to buy Parle-G only. Okay, so brand loyalty is also a barrier. Why should I buy any other new company's glucose biscuit when I know Parle-G is the best? Okay, so that is brand loyalty. Then capital requirements. In some industries, the capital or initial capital requirement is so high that it is very difficult for new companies to enter. For example, the best example of this particular barrier is the aviation industry. The airlines, if I want to start an airline, the minimum investment that I will have to do is that I will have to buy an aircraft. Agree? Now, buying an aircraft is in itself a huge cost, right? So that is also a barrier to the new entrants. Then next is government policies. A lot of government policies that are issued, it is difficult for new companies to abide by them. Okay, the companies that have been existing for longer time or longer duration in the industry, they somehow get used to it, or they find some kind of loopholes to work around the regulation. Okay, but companies that have joined or have started recently, they have to abide by them, by these rules, and it sometimes is difficult for them to follow these rules. Okay, then access to distribution channels. So the last point under threat of new entrants is access to distribution channels. So accessing distribution channels is difficult for new companies because the old companies or the already existing firms already have an established relation or connection with the distribution channels, or they already have their own distribution channel. Okay, so in these cases sometimes it is difficult for the new companies to operate. Second point, we come to threat of substitute products. Now threat of substitute products,
मैम वॉइस ब्रेक हो रही है.
I'll reconnect the audio. अभी ठीक है? Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So bargaining power of the threat of substitute products. Now a lot of companies have or face this threat that their product can be replaced by a substitute product or a better product. Okay, sometimes companies face obsolescence. For example, if a new technology is introduced and a new invention or products with new features have been invented, the older product or the traditionally existing product sometimes loses its customer base. Okay, can anyone give me an example of this? A product that has been substituted with some other product. Can you think of an example of substituting product? You may have studied about substitute goods in
Ma'am, tea and
economics.
coffee.
Yes, tea and coffee. So when one was
Car and petrol.
yes, car and petrol are not substitute goods. These are complementary goods. Okay, we
Yes,
cannot
sorry.
use a car in substitution of petrol, right?
Sorry, ma'am.
No problem. So the best example is when we say that threat of substitute product. Earlier, everybody used to write with a fountain pen, ink pen, right? When ballpoint pens or gel pens were introduced, it totally killed the market of fountain pens. Okay, that was the threat that fountain pens faced with the substitute product, that was a ballpoint pen or a gel pen. Okay, so it is easier to use, it's more convenient, you do not have to refill it every now and then, it does not leak. Okay, so it's much more convenient and better to use a ballpoint pen or a gel pen. Alright, so this is an example of how a product can go obsolete or can lose its market to a very huge extent because of a substitute good. Okay, so number of substitute products that are available in the market also have an impact on the competition in the firm. Okay, if the substitute products are more and more being introduced, the products that all traditionally existed, they will have to re-innovate their product. They will have to increase or issue new features in their product so that their product does not go obsolete. Okay. Then buyers' propensity to substitute means when buyers try to buy the substitute product more because it is more convenient. This is the point that we discussed earlier. Then level of product differentiation is also very important. The threat of substitute products can be fought with the product differentiation point. If I differentiate my product from other existing products, I introduce new features, new flavors, or new uses of my product, it will differentiate my product from every other existing product in the industry. Okay. Next we come to bargaining power of buyers. Now bargaining power of buyers means the buyer also has some power over the competition in the industry. The number of customers, if there are a large number of customers to a product or to an industry, the market share that every competitor fights for is larger as compared to a niche market. Does anybody understand what niche market is? Who can tell me what a niche market is? I do not want an internet definition. I want just a normal point of view of what you understand by niche market. No, not real market. Nobody understands what niche market is? Alright, so without wasting any time, niche market is a market that is that serves or caters to a very small section of customers. Okay, like for example, if there is a company that produces diapers for old age people, okay, for adults, diapers for adults. Okay, there are companies that are producing this product and there is a need for that product as well. Again my voice is breaking. By this time, the problem is that a lot of people are using the internet in the office, so the network is not good. Hello, is it better now? I have reconnected the audio again. How is it now?
मैम सही है वॉइस अब.
अभी ठीक है? Oh.
Yes, ma'am. Please repeat niche market that you explained.
Yes, I will repeat it. Niche market means a market which is specific or very to the point, or we can say a product that serves to a very small sections of customers. Okay, like for example, if a company produces diapers for adults, now there is a very specific section of people who need this product. Okay, but there is a need in the market. This product will be sold and will be purchased by some of the customers, but it is not a market that has a huge number of customers. Okay, so this is called niche market, a market which has very specific needs and very small number of customers. Okay, then moving on, So size of customers or number of customers is also impacts the competition in the firm, in an industry, sorry. Then difference between the competitors, the differentiation in the product. If a product has more features, more uses, more type of flavors or variety, I will the customers will be attracted to that product more as compared to a product which has very specific features or some few features only. Okay. So this is a difference. This point also impacts how many customers will purchase that product, or what will be the competition level in that type of market. Okay. Then price sensitivity. If the customers in that market are price sensitive, the competition will be high. Even a small or slight change in price will change the market share of the firms. For example, if one company or if there are 3 companies and all of them offer a soap for ₹10 each, and if one of them reduces its price by even ₹1, or maybe one of the companies start giving 10% or 5% free amount of soap or some gift with the soap, okay, these things will highly impact the market share in the industry. Okay. So this was just an example. So bargaining power of buyers also, the power in buyers' hands also impacts the competition level in the industry. And next is bargaining power of suppliers. Now suppliers also enjoy a lot of power over the competition in the industry. The number of suppliers, for example, if the supplier means the people who provide you with raw material. Now, if the raw material is such that there are a large number of suppliers to it, then the competition will be less. But if the supply of that particular raw material is rare, or even or just small number of suppliers offer this kind of raw material, it will be the competition level will be high. Then uniqueness of the supplier's product. What kind of supply or what kind of raw material is being purchased, that will impact the number of or the number of firms purchasing that raw material, and the competition level, or the fight for example, if only a few suppliers are there, they will keep the price of that raw material very high, which will in turn increase the price of the product as well. Okay. But if there are large number of suppliers of that product, that material, that raw material, then the price will be low. Okay. So bargaining power of suppliers also impacts the industry. Lastly, we come to the rivalry among the existing competitors. Now, existing competitors, the competition that is already existing in the firms. We talked about new companies that were entering. We talked about the suppliers, the buyers or customers, and the substitute products that are being offered. Okay, but companies that have existed in that particular market for a long time, what are the things that, or what are the barriers or problems that they face? Okay, first is number of competitors. The more number of competitors, the more will be the competition. Okay, this is because the number of customers will be shared by each of these companies. If there are, for example, if there are 100 customers, total number of customers is 100. Okay, we'll write it down so that you can understand better. Total is 100. Okay, then total firms are 5. Okay, so each firm will get, what would be the market share of each of the firm if we divide it equally? 20. Yes, so 20 customers for each. Okay, but what happens if there are 20 firms in the industry, but obviously the customers will remain the same? So what will be the share if there are 20 firms in the industry? What will be the share of each firm? Yes, 5. Okay, so the problem, you understand what the problem will be? The more the competitors, the lesser will be the market share. Okay, and the lesser number of customers, the more will be the market share. That is why they create barriers for new entrants. Then diversity of customers. The more diverse the products, or the more diverse the competitors will be, the more diverse the products that are existing in the market, more will be the competition in the market. Okay, diverse means different from each other, or of different types or different kinds. Then there is another point which we have to discuss under rivalry among existing firms, which is switching cost. Can anyone tell me what switching cost means? No? Okay, so switching cost is the cost that is incurred because of switching from one industry to another. Okay, for example, I own an airline and I want to switch to public transport or buses, road transport. Okay, what will I have to do? I will have to sell my aircrafts. Okay, I will have to sell my existing assets, and then I'll have to purchase new assets. Okay, so these are known as exit barriers. So there some of the we talked about the barriers to entry. Here the barriers are for exit as well. A lot of companies who want to exit the firm also cannot exit because of these switching cost or exit cost. Okay, the cost of exiting the market is also so high that sometimes they do not, that it is not possible for them to exit the market. Okay, so these are the 5 forces that govern the competition in an industry. Now what I want you all to do is the points. I hope everybody was noting down what points we discussed in the class. So I want you all to write in your own words the description of all these forces. Okay, write down all the points and describe them as we have discussed in the class. And tomorrow, no, not tomorrow, tomorrow we will not have a class. Next Monday, I'll want to see everyone's notes. Okay, so we'll stop here today. Okay.